From Ryan Barkdahl convincing himself that a massive takeout meal was a reward after failing his goal,
So I'm letting myself go back to my way and enjoy one day a week of whatever I want. I just want to enjoy something that tastes good and makes me feel good, and that'll get me through the rest of the week. To keep doing the diet and stay on track.
to Dominic Hernandez believing a giant burger somehow counted as healthier just because it came from a restaurant.
I know me and James changed a lot. I think I've made some good progress that will make Dr. Now proud of me.
Here are some of the most idiotic excuses ever heard on My 600-Pound Life, starting with Bethany Stout. It became one of the show's biggest examples of someone constantly getting in their own way because of the excuses they kept making throughout their journey. Starring in Season 8, Episode 3 of the show, Bethany spent most of her weight loss journey avoiding accountability and finding ways to explain away her lack of progress. Because of this, she became heavily reliant on her teenage daughter Isabella for even the most basic day-to-day tasks, putting a huge amount of pressure on her family.
She'll cook, clean, and take Zoe to school. So she's taking on a lot, which is really unfair to her. Isabella? Yeah? I want to have something to eat while you're making breakfast.
Isabella, after seeing the condition her mom was in, tried her best to support her in every way she possibly could, even when it started affecting her own life and emotional well-being.
I do all the cleaning, and I make sure Zoe's fed and bathed. I make sure that we have groceries in the house. So, I mean, it's a lot of pressure put on me, but I love my mom, and I will do anything for her, no matter what.
Despite everything her daughters were sacrificing for her, Bethany still seemed mostly focused on what was easiest and most comfortable for herself, and she kept falling back on excuses and avoiding the hard reality of the situation.
As I'm gaining weight and eating like I do, I know I'm not going to be able to. And what I can do is just going to get less and less. And as much as I hate that, I still can't stop eating like I want.
Even Dr. Now, after hearing Bethany explain the reasons behind her weight gain, seemed genuinely concerned by the way she approached her situation.
There are a number of factors that have me concerned about Bethany right now. The biggest being that she seems to think that there is a magic solution out there that is going to fix her weight problem and health issues.
And it didn't take long for Bethany to prove that she was not fully ready to make the changes needed in her life. By the time her next appointment came around 2 months later, she had barely lost any weight at all, despite being given a clear plan to follow. But instead of admitting that she had not followed the program the way she should have, Bethany acted oblivious, believing that she had been working extremely hard.
The goal means that I might not get to do that. So it's just disappointing. I just tried to figure out like what else I could be doing because I feel like I haven't.
At this point, even Dr. Now had begun to recognize Bethany's excuses for what they were. He was not willing to pretend that she was making progress when the scale clearly showed otherwise, and he kept trying to remind her that she was still far away from where she needed to be.
Well, the trip is not going to get any easier if you're not losing much weight. Because I see you only lost 14 pounds, which is nowhere near your goal. So what that means to me is that you may have made some small changes, but you're still hoping for a magic solution. So you don't have to do any of the really hard work.
That's not true. I've made a lot of changes and I'm working hard. And I know I've stayed within the 1,200 calories and I'm doing what I should, even though it's hard, but I haven't cheated or I've stuck to it completely for the last couple of months.
That all sounds great. But if that were accurate, you would have lost a lot more than you did over the past 2 months.
Things became even more awkward when Dr. Now started asking Bethany about her eating habits. Instead of being honest, Bethany once again tried to downplay what she was eating and acted confused when Dr. Now questioned her answers. It was obvious that he no longer believed the explanations she was giving him.
That's not healthy.
Okay.
I want you to stick to normal food.
Okay.
So for dinner...
We usually make something healthy for dinner. Like I'll have, like the other day we made chicken with zucchini and squash. One day we made chicken and salad.
Okay, you're not really being honest with me or yourself. You are eating more than you're admitting.
What shocked viewers even more was that after finally putting in enough effort to qualify for weight loss surgery, Bethany slipped right back into her old routine and gained weight. Of course, Dr. Now was frustrated by this and decided to confront her directly, while Bethany once again acted unsure about what had gone wrong, almost as if she had gained weight out of thin air.
Hello.
Hi.
No.
How y'all doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
I'm doing good. All right, so Bethany, It is a little over 4 months since your weight loss surgery, and you already started gaining again. So obviously, that's a very bad situation we have with you.
Bethany continued trying to convince Dr. Now that she had followed the diet exactly the way she was instructed to, but by this point, he was no longer accepting the excuses because the results simply did not match what she was claiming.
So you want to tell me what's going on and why you're pushing yourself to eat what you shouldn't be again?
I don't know. I'm sticking to the sheet that you gave me of what not to eat.
But even with repeated warnings, Bethany refused to acknowledge that she was in the wrong, and instead made up more excuses to continue living the way she wanted.
He didn't find any issues, and he said everything looks fine with my sleep surgery and that there's nothing wrong with it.
Hello, how you doing?
What was more ironic about her excuse was how Bethany herself was an addiction therapist working to take others out of the same addiction she had been living in all her life. Viewers couldn't help but take notice of this irony as well. An addiction therapist who doesn't believe that therapy is effective in addressing the underlying issues of addiction and refuses to go to therapy. But it didn't end there. Bethany went as far as claiming that all the effort Dr. Now had put into her ended up in vain.
And I feel like at this point, he's not listening to me. How are you doing after your...
Oh, all right. Still a little sore, still a little tender, but they say get up and move around.
Yeah, I know. That's what they tell me too after surgery. Chili, and I guess the side salad too with that. It's difficult to try to go out to eat and then try to find something that I can have.
Bethany tried her best to find excuses for why things weren't working out, but completely forgot about the fact that it was her job to make the most of the opportunity she was given. Even the viewers, who by this time were aware of her constant excuses, chimed in. She used Dr. Now for the surgery. She thought she could still eat fast food and go out of control since her stomach was smaller. She thought she wouldn't gain weight. Just like Dr. Now said, surgery isn't a magic pill. It's just a tool to help you if you want to help yourself. More than anything, her constant excuses and refusal to fully acknowledge her own habits made it unclear whether she was truly ready to change her life for the better, which was exactly what Maya Radonovic did throughout her journey, constantly turning every setback into another excuse while refusing to take accountability for her destructive habits. Starring in Season 7, Episode 8, Maya's story was filled with emotional arguments and constant complaints that seemed to follow her everywhere she went, and instead of adapting to difficult situations like an adult, she often reacted by breaking down and blaming the people around her.
and I are headed to Houston today, but we're both really nervous about this whole trip. So we've been fighting for most of the morning.
Oh my gosh, my leg is so swollen right now.
Maya became visibly distressed and angry on her trip to Houston while insisting that nobody understood what she was going through, and immediately shifted into frustration and self-pity whenever things became uncomfortable.
That Christian starts to give a little more support, because if he doesn't, then my fear is that this trip to Houston could be too much for me, either physically or emotionally. And I'm so close to not being able to take it.
Things only got worse as time went by, making her increasingly more annoyed, demanding more to be done for her by the airport authorities.
Because my legs hurt, and the lady lied to me about how far it was because I would have made other arrangements for me to get here if I knew how far it was. I understand that I'm a big person, but it doesn't give people the right to lie to me.
Things only got worse when she couldn't fit into the rental car they were using, making the ride even more uncomfortable for her. But instead of calmly dealing with the situation, Maya immediately spiraled emotionally and acted like every obstacle was impossible to overcome.
You don't have the right car reserved for us. This is completely ridiculous. I literally cannot believe how much wrong information has been given to me about today and how so many people can screw up. We had a large SUV reserved, and they say all they can give us is a regular sized car. But it's not an issue about what I want. I may not even be able to fit if it's too small.
Ow.
Are you gonna fit?
Oh, Christian. No, I can't get up.
Okay, hold on, don't stress. Worst thing you can do is freak
I'm
out.
scared. I'm scared.
Don't be
Please,
scared.
please,
Come on.
hang on. Oh, I can't. Hang on. I can't. I have to go down. I can't. Let go.
Okay.
Because of this, she not only threw a tantrum, but also broke down crying like a child, turning the entire situation into another emotional scene rather than trying to work through the problem.
Why are you crying?
Because that was really hard and embarrassing. You don't know how embarrassing that was.
I gotta use the restroom. Just hang out for a second, okay?
No, you don't understand what happened. Like I went to get in and I got stuck and then I fell out on the floor.
The tension only continued to build once they got to the hotel, eventually leading to their first major fight. Despite Christian being Maya's biggest support throughout her journey, Maya let out her insecurities on him, which was why she started blaming him for not helping enough, criticizing him and accusing him of not understanding her struggle, and kept finding new reasons to lash out at him.
Really stressed out, Christian. Don't need your attitude.
I don't give a
I don't feel like he's even trying to understand how high my anxiety is. My mind is just racing about all the things that could go wrong.
Recently went on a trip, and when she came back, she had him. Normal people can get him.
Well, if we find any, I'll call the FBI.
Christian, stop.
I don't feel like he's taking any of this seriously at all.
I need my phone, please.
Where's your phone?
In my purse. I need to check my flight.
Where's your purse?
Christian, really?
I don't know where
Get
your
off
purse-
your phone.
I don't know where your purse
Be
is.
a part of this.
Where the is your purse?
But Christian wasn't the only person she blamed during her journey. Even before leaving for Houston, Maya had already gotten into a confrontation with her mother, and rather than focusing on improving her health, she constantly became consumed by arguments and feelings of abandonment.
Okay,
It's all right. I'm leaving. You.
Because I want you to, she can't leave. This is not the plan. We didn't plan this,
Maya,
Mom.
it doesn't. Not
This is
everything
not the
has to be
time.
planned. Life
We're
is not
doing
planned.
this now.
Life is not planned. Things
Mom,
happen.
Stop
You weren't
talking.
planned.
Just stop talking.
You know, this is why we have family fights. It's because of you. You won't change. You're the one making it tough.
No, you
are.
You're always saying that you have to work and it's about money.
Do you
Mom,
need
you can't
money?
just wait 5 minutes for us to get this done?
Maya. No, I gotta go back to work. It's time to go to work.
This excuse-making continued during her medical appointments as well. During one emotional breakdown at Dr. Now's clinic, Maya immediately started firing excuses by blaming Christian for her failure to lose weight, acting as though her lack of progress was somehow his responsibility instead of her own.
I've been fighting a lot, and getting down here, driving, was just really stressful. But I've been trying to eat as healthy as I can.
Whenever Christian tried defending himself, Maya became argumentative and emotional instead of acknowledging her own role in the situation. Every attempt at support or honesty quickly turned into another fight, and over time, the constant blame game and emotional pressure of forcing her excuses onto Christian pushed their relationship to its limit.
Your fault.
Oh, you haven't lost that much. Yeah.
Because of the stress of you treating me like this.
I'm doing this to me, Christian. Why can't you just answer the questions?
Oh, you're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything!
Damn it, Christian, stop! Stop! Mom, I think Christian's everything up at the doctor's office. No! Mom! Mom! I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. He's with my life. Yes, Mom, he's... Yes, here, my mom wants to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. Talk to my mom.
I don't see why we're having issues now. I know you've gone way above and beyond.
Nobody else.
Maya, you need to be quiet.
You know what?
And after repeatedly feeling blame no matter what he did, Christian eventually became emotionally exhausted and decided to leave altogether. By that point, it was clear that Maya's constant excuses and refusal to take accountability had completely drained the relationship. Viewers couldn't help but share their frustration with Maya's behavior, saying, "I cannot believe, as a grown-up woman. She called her mom to tell him to stay in a relationship with her. Then she has the audacity to blame him for her weight gain. Over time, her confrontations with Dr. Now became another major part of her story because nearly every appointment came back to the same issue: her refusal to accept responsibility for her actions and giving nonsensical answers.
2 to 3 large meals a day.
And any snack in between?
No.
What do you drink?
Water, juice, coffee.
So according to what you tell me, you don't snack, you don't eat junk food, you don't really drink anything bad, you just overeat some, and somehow that got you up to being almost 700 pounds. Does that sound like it makes much sense to you? Because it's not making much sense to me. So part of the problem is that you're used to lying about your eating habits. But the scale doesn't lie, so you shouldn't either. This isn't gonna work if you're not honest with me. Got it?
No matter how many reasons she gave, Dr. Now refused to accept them and continued reminding her that nobody else was responsible for her choices, only for her to end up not being able to manage that simple reality.
So none of this is an acceptable excuse.
I'm sorry.
But while Maya's behavior was hard to ignore, it was still second to Ashley Taylor, who became one of the most frustrating patients on the show because of her ability to turn her whole episode into a train of excuses for her lack of progress. Even though Ashley was still physically mobile, her eating habits had completely taken control of her life, and she continued making decisions that were clearly hurting her health while acting like she still had everything under control. Her obsession with food had gotten so bad that she kept choosing temporary comfort over her own well-being, despite fully understanding the damage she was doing to herself.
Anytime there's food around me, I can't help myself because I am addicted to food. I can't stop. Food is an addiction. Everybody has their addiction of choice. Mine just so happened to be food.
By the time she met Dr. Now, Ashley had already reached over 480 pounds, yet she still believed she was doing well without realizing how ridiculous it all sounded.
I'm excited about that weight, and I feel really good about myself seeing that progress and having such a big drop already. So I feel like I'm already off to a very good start, and I'm hoping that's a factor Dr. Now will consider for me and maybe improve me for weight loss surgery today.
But Dr. Now has a set of qualities that needs checking and told Ashley to prove that she was serious about changing before moving forward with surgery.
To understand what the proper nutrition is, okay? Do you think you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next thing is I want to start doing some exercise. You think you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you start doing your exercise and changing any habit according to what we give you, you should be able to start losing about 20 pounds a month. Okay? And if you do that and show me that you're taking this seriously, we will consider moving ahead with weight loss surgery for you.
But from early on, he could already tell that her attitude toward the process was going to be a major problem. Ashley seemed far more focused on defending herself than actually improving her habits.
Right now, I have a number of concerns about Ashley because a lot of what she says doesn't add up or make much sense. And her behavior also indicates she's not being completely truthful to me about everything because she says she already lost a significant amount of weight. And that's because her emotions make her want to eat less.
As expected, Ashley failed to meet her weight loss goal and ended up losing only 10 pounds in an entire month, which made it obvious to Dr. Now that she was not following the program properly.
And is that even though you made some adjustment in your eating habits, you're still eating 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day.
After this appointment, Dr. Now expected Ashley to take the situation more seriously and finally commit to the diet. Instead, Ashley continued doing things her own way and acted like his instructions were optional.
After my therapy appointment with Lola, I gave the things she said for me to do some very serious thought, and I decided it would be good for me to do them, but not right now, because that appointment had already made me emotional to the point where I had been struggling more. So what I need to do is focus on my diet, but the reality is, with the stress of therapy, I've earned a little treat for taking some good steps.
Without even doing the real work, she gave herself treats with reasoning that sounded just as illogical.
The biggest thing I've learned is controlling portion size, so I can afford some things like this. And focus is not a lot. And if I make an exception and treat myself because of my progress, I stay in control of my portions like I should, so I keep my calories down and stay in my limits.
The problem was that while she claimed to be controlling herself, she was still spending most of her time at home ordering takeout and giving into cravings whenever she wanted fast food. Unsurprisingly, her next weigh-in went even worse, with Ashley losing only 2 pounds during the entire month, and upon seeing the number, she still acted shocked and disappointed. When Dr. Now started questioning her about what she had really been eating, Ashley attempted to act honestly, but it quickly became clear that she was still hiding the truth and trying to minimize her behavior.
So how you been?
I've been good. How you been?
I'm good, but I'm concerned about a few things. One is your lack of weight loss because you are 475 today,
Yes, sir.
which is pretty much no progress. That means you're still eating between 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. So what do you think the changes are that you have made?
I've been doing the exercises more. I've been doing the diet like you told me. I've really been I cut off all the soda, no more soda.
Dr. Now was not convinced by her explanations and kept pushing her to admit what was actually going wrong. Instead of accepting responsibility, Ashley continued trying to dodge the issue and make excuses for why she was failing the program.
You haven't lost much weight, so if you made all these positive changes, why is that?
I don't know. I've been doing what I should. I've been having problems with my mom also. I've been having family problems too.
With your mom about what?
Because she's been a little sick.
So what does this have to do with not losing weight?
Because I'm her only child. I gotta be there for my mom.
I'm still not understanding what that means. You couldn't eat healthy and do what you needed if you had to be with her. Because taking care of her doesn't mean that you have to overeat, right?
This made viewers critique her attitude even more. She's not used to people calling her out on her BS. She's been a bully her whole life, but you don't walk into Dr. Now's office and tell him what he's going to do. This is his playground. The situation became even more tense when Dr. Now questioned her refusal to get blood work done at the hospital. Once again, Ashley avoided giving a direct answer and became defensive the moment she was challenged.
So we wanted to get some lab work from you, but you refused. So we don't know what your lab work is. We tried to get your lab work.
I'm gonna go to the doctor tomorrow and let my people draw my blood because I know my veins. And the lady that I go to get my blood drawn, she always finds it. So I'd rather just have her do it and I can just have them send all the stuff. I'm gonna go to them tomorrow when I get up.
Dr. Now kept pressing her for a real explanation because what she said did not make sense to anyone in the room. But instead of responding honestly, Ashley continued acting irritated and offended over basic questions about surgery and lab work.
I understand you don't trust us to do your blood test, but you trust us to do weight loss surgery on you?
No, it's not like that.
Can you explain that to me?
No, it's not like that, Dr. Now. I trust y'all. If I wouldn't be here if I didn't trust you.
Well, but not enough to do your blood, but you want us to do weight loss surgery on you. I
Not
don't
that
get
I don't
that.
trust you, Dr. Now. It's just, once again, I'd rather have my lady draw my blood because she knows my veins and I'm comfortable with her. If we being honest, I'm comfortable with her.
As the conversation continued, Ashley became increasingly argumentative, acting like she was being unfairly criticized despite spending months making almost no progress at all.
We're not able to do your workup, we're not able to get your blood, and we're not able to do anything. How are we going to do your surgery?
I'm not gonna have some stranger draw my blood. I told you that I was gonna have my lady draw my blood and I was gonna send it over here. If you're not comfortable with that, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, don't people that are over 1,000 pounds, we draw blood?
Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day,
all those people.
if I'm comfortable, see, now I'm getting mad. So now I'm gonna have to just talk to you like I talk to them.
The argument kept escalating, with Ashley behaving as though Dr. Now was attacking her for no reason, even though he was simply pointing out that whatever she said didn't make sense and had wasted valuable time while continuing the same unhealthy habits. She even reacted with offended expressions whenever Dr. Now challenged her excuses, almost as if his criticism made no sense, despite her lack of results speaking for themselves.
It's a significant issue. You haven't lost any weight, and you want us to do a magic for you?
Ashley, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, God. I can't. This is going all wrong.
So if you stick with the diet and you eat low calorie, you should lose more weight. Is that hard to understand?
And while Ashley proved to be one of the most obnoxious and delusional patients on the show, Lisa Eberson took things to another level entirely, with a refusal of almost every form of help offered to her with illogical reasons. Featured in Season 10, Episode 14, Lisa had become completely dependent on her partner Randy, relying on him to cook, clean, and take care of nearly every part of her daily life while she remained bedbound.
Makes me upset because don't want her eating that stuff, but I don't want to make her mad, so I give it to her. Lisa gets upset all the time because she wants to get up out of bed and do things, and she starts crying. It makes me upset because I love her with all my heart.
Because of this lifestyle, Lisa's condition had become extremely serious. Yet she continued eating massive meals every day while acting strangely unconcerned about how badly her health was declining. Even Dr. Now quickly noticed how casually Lisa treated her situation, especially considering how dangerous her condition had already become. He could tell that she was not fully taking responsibility for what was happening to her body.
What do you mean you don't know? So you don't know what the problem is?
Well, yeah, I know what the problem is. I guess I just haven't did anything about it.
So what do you think the problem is?
I eat too much.
So how long you know that you're eating too much?
Oh, for a long time.
So what is new today after 51 years?
I don't want to die. I want to change my life and get out of this bed.
You say that, but doing that hasn't been important enough for you to start losing weight before this point.
But despite what Lisa kept telling the people around her, she had no real intention of giving up the lifestyle that was destroying her health. Instead of trying to follow the program seriously, she continued surrounding herself with the exact food that had caused the problem in the first place.
Get like 6 or 7 cookies. Get some peanut butter cookies. A 6-pack of them if they got them.
You want bacon cheddar? You want jalapeno cheddar?
Just grab one of each one. Go get some cereal too, babe. We need about 7 boxes of cereal, so keep track of what you throw in there. Get something with sugar on it, since you're standing right there. Get some of that peanut butter right up there. Okay, now go to the candy aisle, and then we're gonna go to the chip aisle.
Where's the chip aisle right now?
Oh, well, get chips while you're standing there. I don't know, get 5 bags. You might just get a couple jars of that dip too.
Her junk food shopping continued nonstop, making it obvious that she was not interested in changing her eating habits at all. Even after being warned about the risks to her health, Lisa still behaved as though nothing needed to change.
I can do the exercise and diet Dr. Now wants me to do, but not today.
Things became even more frustrating when Lisa eventually video called Dr. Now after spending an entire month ignoring the program. Instead of showing concern or urgency, she approached the appointment casually and acted like her lack of progress was not a serious issue.
What do you have done to change your eating habit and lose some weight? I send you my book and all the instructions you need.
I don't quite understand your book and what kind of diet you want me to be on.
Then you haven't read it because there is only one diet in there. You read the stuff where you will understand that you eat only 3 times a day, only about 400 calories and protein, and you avoid all the high-calorie food list that we send you. Which part of that is hard to understand?
I'm confused all the way around, I guess.
Not only was Lisa rejecting the help being offered to her, but she also kept pretending that she simply did not understand the diet, almost as if confusion was the reason that she was failing instead of her own choices. Dr. Now clearly did not believe any of it.
You're confused. Okay. I think the reality is you're playing games and pretending to be confused because you still want to eat whatever you want whenever you want. So we need to cut the food off at the source.
At this point, Dr. Now became increasingly concerned because Lisa seemed completely unwilling to put in any effort toward improving her situation. He repeatedly tried explaining how important it was for her to start taking the program seriously before things became even worse. But Lisa seemed more interested in finding shortcuts and excuses than actually doing the hard work needed to lose weight. She wanted results without changing the habits that were keeping her bedridden in the first place, which frustrated the viewers. I can't believe TLC wasted the resources on this person. There are way too many people that need help. She deserves to stay in her bed away from others. This lady disgusts me, and I've never been so pissed off at a TV show. And when Dr. Now suggested psychotherapy, even that became a thing for Lisa to complain about rather than an opportunity to improve herself.
I don't want to go over anything with her. I think it's a waste of time.
She then proceeded to give out absurd excuses for her lack of progress while trying to justify her laziness in front of everyone.
Fine. I probably won't even answer your questions, to be honest with you.
I just want to get to know you a little bit, okay? Can you tell me about yourself?
I don't know. I ain't really nothing to tell.
But the worst part is how she refused to acknowledge the effort put in by Dr. Now to treat her, even though he was one of the only people genuinely trying to help her improve her health.
What has he provided for you when you met with him?
Nothing but rudeness. I refuse to talk to that man again, too. I don't need to be made like I'm a piece of from someone who's supposed to be helping me.
You're not a piece of
Well, that's not how they make you feel.
She constantly portrayed herself as the victim, while actively lying about her eating habits and daily routine to avoid difficult conversations about her lack of progress, while every viewer saw how she demanded Randy to bring in snacks.
What types of things do you like to snack on?
Just depends on whatever's around. I don't have a choice.
Okay, so what kind of foods get brought into the house?
I don't know.
Well, what do you eat on a day-to-day basis?
I don't know. I had oatmeal and toast for breakfast.
You like to eat snack food, so what type of snack food?
I don't know. I don't eat chips. I used to never. I don't know. I don't know what I eat. I just eat whatever people give me.
The dietitian repeatedly attempted to work with her and make the process easier, but Lisa continued refusing to cooperate, avoiding questions and making the entire interaction unnecessarily hostile.
So if you want to make change, I'm gonna need you to engage with me.
But I don't know.
So you've not struggled with...
What is this gonna do me any good with you just coming here and talk? This is not even what a nutritionist done. I've seen nutritionists before. This is
Lisa, this is my specialty of working with people who struggle in their relationship with food. This is what I do every day.
They're wasting my time. Get out. I'm done talking to you. Give me my book. I don't blame nobody for anything that's happened to me.
Lisa, is part of you afraid of getting help?
Just get away from me.
Okay.
Get the out.
But things got even worse once she started behaving the same way toward the physical therapist, whose sole purpose of being there was to help her recover and feel better.
What can physical therapy help you
There's
with?
nothing you can do for me.
Have you had physical therapy in the past? Are you interested in any type of exercises that you can do in bed?
No.
I'd like to help you.
You are not supposed to be here this late. How is that fair? You are not supposed to come this late. I really don't have anything to say to you or anything I want to do. You wasted your time. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
I have some resistance bands out in my vehicle. If it's something that you'd like to, I can bring in here and show you a couple things that you can do.
I'm not having you show me anything. If you got some papers, I'll take them and I'll figure it out later on.
By this point, the viewers had completely lost all hope for her. She is an extreme manipulator. Because Dr. Now isn't buying what she's selling, she's flipping out and acting like a literal child. She's so used to having a slave in Randy that anyone who tells her no is met with extreme outbursts of angry childlike behavior. She doesn't want to change unless it comes by doing absolutely nothing. However, while Lisa continued making excuse after excuse to justify her unhealthy lifestyle, it became increasingly obvious that she was more interested in defending her habits than actually changing them. Much like Nicole Lewis, who was heading in the same direction. A big part in Nicole's journey was how her position as a mother was being compromised because of her weight, to the point that it was extremely alarming how she could not be present in her kids' lives.
I'm scared he's gonna get a hold of that handle and get her on the hot side and hurt himself.
If I wasn't here, Lord only knows what would happen.
But the worst part is how far gone her food addiction was and how her family enabled this addiction just for the sake of her own happiness.
And I would do anything to make Nicole happy, but who knows how much bigger she can get before it's too much.
Food is just simply amazing to me. And it's hard to stop eating. I just want to make sure I've had enough food in me.
I'm definitely afraid for Nicole's life. The doctors told her, time you're 25, you'll be in a wheelchair. Time you're 30, you'll be dead. But if she don't do something, she ain't gonna be around to raise her kids.
What made things even more concrete was Nicole choosing food over her own life and family, and reasoning it with an excuse that did not make sense as a mother.
Come on, Charlie. What? They're miserable, man.
I understand that. Let's go.
Quit, dude. I just want to get on the road and get to Houston. Today I've been just absolutely miserable in the front seat of this vehicle.
Everything led up to a point where, on her trip to Houston, Nicole encountered another problem which left her flustered.
Get in the bags and stuff.
I say you try it again, Nikki.
Okay, let's just try it again! You bunch of bastards!
Okay, fine. Just hang on, we gotta get Mommy on this bed.
We're gonna take the mattress and the box spring off. We're gonna put that down.
I'll slide the whole bed over that way.
Oh my God.
Because the bed had wheels, she wasn't able to jump right on top of it, and then she threw a tantrum. If anything, this should have been a wake-up call for Nicole to take charge of her life, but it was only an excuse for her to blame her family and everything around her.
So I have to remind myself why I'm doing this. I'm 23 years old, and there is so much I've never seen.
This made the viewers extremely frustrated with the way she was treating everyone who tried to help her, saying, "Seeing her behave the way she does in front of her kids is appalling," whining and cussing people out. But despite all of this, Dr. Now decided to give her a chance to prove herself. But as expected, Nicole had little heart to really stop eating junk and focus on her health, and so she didn't even make it close to her monthly target. To make things worse, Nicole again put all the blame on her family, refusing to take even an ounce of accountability on her part.
Frustrated right now because I feel like I worked really hard and I don't know how I could do any better. But I'm scared because I know this may be my last chance. And if I screw up again, I'm gonna have no hope at surviving another year.
Dr. Now was disappointed at her lethargic excuse and did what he felt was necessary to bring her to make some changes in her life.
But until we find a place to live with a kitchen, we're still mostly relying on takeout and fast food. And even when we could pick some healthier places, my family doesn't want to eat from there.
I got cherry syrup put in mine.
Yeah, this is yours.
Instead of taking on Dr. Now's advice and working better this time, Nicole again started making excuses for eating unhealthy and spiraled back into the same eating habits she wasn't ready to let go of.
Let that happen to my kids.
This sucks. Giving up what we had to give, you know what I mean?
This ain't my fault. This is just a situation that happened that we got to get through together as a family. It doesn't help when I'm getting jumped every day over the situation.
I nag, I don't jump.
My mom nags me and says she wishes she was still in Ohio. I don't see none of you guys helping me. I'm
you
literally...
got one laptop you won't let nobody use. I'm the one out looking for jobs. I'm the one out having job interviews. I don't see nobody else getting jobs, getting job interviews.
I handle all your job applications, talk to real estate agents.
Right, and I'm not saying you don't do nothing.
But in Ohio, we had a house, the kids had a place to stay and play, huh? That's driving me nuts.
Of course, viewers felt extremely sick of her attitude, saying she cares way more about food than anything else, including her kids. As expected, even at her next appointment, there was no hope for Nicole to get any better, and her attitude was only worsening with time. This time again, Nicole had no real defense for herself other than the fact that she had people surrounding her, which she could blame right after any challenging question was asked without suffering any consequences.
And you gotta have to become a stronger person. So I'm going to send you to a therapist so we can start to get on the same page about a few things. We have a lot of work to do. And because you made so little progress, I'm requiring you to lose 30 pounds in a month for 2 months in a row.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I need to know that you can do this and you can stick to it. Until then, surgery is not an option. Keep working at it and I'll see you soon.
All right. I'm really discouraged. I'm worse off than when I started because I have to lose weight over 2 months now. And the doctor just doesn't understand what I have to deal with. Because I'm completely dependent on my family. I just hope the therapist helps. Because if I don't succeed this time, I'm completely out of chances.
Until the end, Nicole was not willing to admit that she was at fault, showing no remorse over throwing her family under the bus for her own lies and carelessness. The same way Ryan Barkdahl was caught building his excuse tower while refusing to admit that his eating habits were the reason he was failing to make progress. Starring in Season 10, Episode 7 of the show, Ryan's obsession with food had completely taken over his life to the point where almost every decision he made revolved only around eating. And because of this addiction, his health had deteriorated so badly that even basic movement had become difficult for him. Yet Ryan still acted as though his situation was not as serious as it clearly was.
It makes the pain 10 times worse. On some days I can manage, but other days it's horrible. It hurts significantly. And it's getting harder and harder to stay mobile and to get around as I need.
Even then, instead of treating food as the problem, Ryan constantly found ways to justify his habits and convince himself that he still had things under control.
By the time that I finish the meal that I'm eating, I'm already thinking about the next meal. Like when I'm eating breakfast, I ask my mom what we're having for lunch. But I need to know what's in line and what's next because I already can't wait to eat again, even though I just did. So my whole day basically revolves around me eating and drinking. and how I'm going to get more of it. And that's what drives me.
Doctor now quickly tried giving Ryan a reality check, explaining how dangerous his condition had become and making it clear that he needed to completely change his relationship with food if he wanted any chance of improving his life.
Okay. Well, Ryan, you need to be under 200, and you're over 500 pounds, and this extra 500 pounds is going to put a lot of strain on your system, and most people at your weight, they don't survive too long.
But Ryan immediately started acting as if he had already been putting in some serious effort, despite giving very little evidence that he was actually following the program properly. He wanted credit for trying, even though the results and his behavior suggested otherwise.
I put myself on the diet that I'm on right now to lose weight.
So you're dieting right now?
Yes.
Okay, is it working?
Yeah, it actually has been working. I don't snack nearly as much as I used to.
Well, if it is working and you think you're losing weight, why did you tell me you think you're the same weight as you were a couple months ago?
I'm just not sure how much I lost.
Okay, so a typical day, what do you eat?
It really varies. Some days I'll personally order food like pizza or sandwiches and have it delivered. And then other days, my mom cooks, so eggs and sausage is a big one for me. I like breakfast burritos, so I'll put eggs in it, sausage in it, cheese in it, and I'll usually have 2 of those. And then dinner is chili, enchiladas, spaghetti, like a lot of pastas, tacos.
All right, so do you snack?
I do still snack, not nearly as much as I was, but I definitely snack.
Dr. Dow, however, refused to accept Ryan's reasoning and kept pointing out that his lack of progress was coming from his own choices. No matter how much Ryan tried to explain things away, Dr. Dow made it clear that he was not moving in the right direction. Still, Ryan seemed completely convinced that the version of the diet he was following would somehow work out for him, no matter what. Instead of honestly evaluating his mistakes, he continued acting confident that he knew what he was doing.
I think the diet I put myself on before talking to the doctor now is going to pay off with the weight drop today. Because I was at 740 pounds a couple months ago.
Let me turn this on.
But I think I'm less than that now.
That confidence quickly disappeared during his first weigh-in, where the results showed that things had clearly not gone the way he had expected.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it won't read your weight today. I'm gonna have you come in here and have a seat in these chairs.
After 2 whole months of supposedly working hard, Ryan looked genuinely shocked by the outcome, almost as if he believed effort alone should have guaranteed progress regardless of what he was actually eating. Dr. Dow then confirmed Ryan's fears by directly confronting him about his lack of progress and giving him another strict goal to follow. Most importantly, he made it clear that Ryan was still making excuses instead of real changes.
Their scale cannot read my weight.
The weight limit on the scale they have seems to be 660 pounds. But regardless of your exact weight, I'm going to give you the same goal. In 2 months, I want you to get down to 650 pounds. You think you can do that?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Rather than fully committing to the program, he constantly acted like the diet itself was the problem instead of his inability to follow it consistently, making it nearly impossible for him to see any real change in himself.
But to say that there's a lot of requirements and rules in what Dr. Now sent would be an understatement. Because basically it's like I can't eat anything anymore except meat, chicken, fish, and vegetables. And none of it can be made with anything that makes it taste good. No butter or salt or anything. So basically I'm eating like a rabbit. That's the diet.
And despite all the claims about how hard he had been trying, there was still no visible change in his appearance that suggested that he was actually making meaningful progress. That became even more obvious during his second weigh-in appointment, where he ended up facing the exact same disappointing outcome once again. However, this time Dr. Now gave him another blunt reality check instead of sympathy, hoping Ryan would finally understand that his excuses were getting him nowhere.
I worked hard, so I'm at least under 650 pounds right now.
So you believe you're under 650 pounds?
That's correct.
All right. We will agree to disagree then, because you don't look like you lost much weight since our last call. So I think the issue is that you're still over the 660 pound limit for the scale to be able to get your weight. So whatever progress you made, it wasn't a lot. So that's not good.
But even after being warned again, Ryan still chose to prioritize food over his health. In one of the clearest examples of his mindset, he decided to celebrate getting another chance by ordering a massive takeout meal almost immediately after the appointment, and justified it with a reason that someone of his size shouldn't even think of.
But now that I made it to this point, I need to go back to how I was doing the diet before my mom intervened. where I had my cheat days. Because that got me through the first month of doing this. And not being able to have that made the last couple months way too hard. So I'm letting myself go back to my way and enjoy one day a week of whatever I want. I just want to enjoy something that tastes good and makes me feel good. And that'll get me through the rest of the week. To keep doing the diet and stay on track. Like I need to get to my next goal.
Viewers were frustrated watching Ryan continuously sabotage himself while pretending he was serious about changing. As one commented, "This guy was infuriating and a waste of everyone's time." However, what Ryan did not expect was to be confronted during his celebratory meal.
Honey, gotta come see this.
What?
I didn't tell my mom because I knew she wasn't going to agree with me, and I didn't want to argue. So I waited until she and Leroy told me they were taking a nap and they wouldn't hear the door. But I guess they weren't.
Ryan Shane, what are you doing?
I was just eating some chicken.
I'm making dinner.
Although his mother was clearly disappointed by what she saw, Ryan still acted oblivious and immediately started pushing responsibility away from himself rather than admitting that he had made a terrible decision.
Dogs will have chicken for their dinner. This is not on your diet.
Snitch. I'm a little frustrated because I don't think I'm doing anything wrong.
The disappointment from his mother only made Ryan more defensive, causing him to double down on his excuses instead of taking accountability.
Because I don't think any of this is fair. I told her I need to do this diet in a way that works for me to be successful, but she doesn't care. So now she's decided the best thing to do is throw out anything in the house with carbs or sugar or anything that's not on Dr. Now's diet. So that's basically everything in the house, and she's throwing it all away.
It's gonna be a lot of food. I hope this helps you, but there's a lot of stuff in here.
So I'm frustrated right now because I don't think any of this is helpful. I know my mom thinks it is, but she's wrong.
Many viewers actually praised his mother for confronting him instead of enabling him. One viewer said, "I think it's wonderful his mom did what he did. This guy's so caught up in his addiction that he'll say and do whatever he wants so he doesn't feel bad about it." At the same time, they heavily criticized Ryan for refusing to take accountability for his actions. "This man is pitiful, and all he did was lie. I was so disgusted by him and his behavior." As expected, Ryan never made enough progress to even travel and meet Dr. Now in person, with his endless excuses ultimately turning his journey into one of the show's biggest failures, proving that he never wanted to make the change to begin with. Just like Dominic Hernandez, who kept thinking that he was headed in the right direction, all while sitting in the same miserable spot. He was not only in a vulnerable position because of being homeless with his brother, but he was also extremely obese, making simple tasks like moving around cause him a lot of pain and agony. Despite all this, he was still not willing to give up his unhealthy cravings and continued to binge eat food to the point where the little money he earned was spent on it.
Hey, can I get 6 of the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, 6 hash browns, 2 triple griddles? Can I get 3 of the big breakfasts and a large chocolate shake with whipped cream? Yeah, that's it.
For someone in his condition, financially and physically, living a life at over 600 pounds must be extremely difficult. But after seeing his massive food order, viewers became convinced that eating was all Dominic truly cared about, even more than having a roof over his head. Many criticized the purchase, arguing that he could have spent that money on far healthier food instead. But Dominic made nothing about it, and kept making excuses and portraying himself as helpless, despite having the control to change his life for the better.
I'm very tired of this life. I want a family. I want a roof over my head. I want a spot to lay my head, but not being able to control my eating has destroyed my life. And I'm scared I'm not going to have the chance to even change to have those things, because I'm not going to be alive much longer if I keep living like this.
What's even worse is how Dominic was okay with sacrificing his own comfort just to be able to consume more food during his ride to Houston.
James has been telling me we can't stop too often for food because he wants us to conserve more money. But I told him I'd rather skip the hotels and save money that way. But he's worried about it being dangerous to sleep in our car in places we don't know. So we've been fighting about that.
After finally arriving at the appointment with Dr. Now and explaining his situation to him, the doctor wasn't really happy seeing the dynamic both of them had created for themselves. Dr. Now, however, made it clear to both of them that unless they were willing to put in any effort, they shouldn't get ahead of themselves or expect anything life-changing.
So I'm gonna stay here.
All right, you're gonna stay, but if you're gonna eat bad and he's gonna sit down and watch you, that's not gonna work.
So you're gonna have to eat better too.
Okay? So you're gonna be moral support. You're gonna have to do your part too. Okay?
All right.
because you're part of his overeating and he's part of your overeating. You both are feeding each other, and this dynamic is not going to be possible to change unless both of you change. Is that something you both understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
He also made sure they realized that their efforts would bear no fruit unless they were actually dedicated and made a move.
But doing that is not going to be easy. So don't come back in and say, it was very difficult to follow diet because I'm stressed and I got this, I got this. Nobody said that's going to be easy. Okay, you understand that. That's going to be hard. But life is hard, and if you don't try, it's going to be harder. So there is no magic fix for you.
What's more shocking is that immediately after the appointment, Dominic's first instinct was to have a ginormous burger, thinking it might be healthier because it was made in a restaurant.
Because all the healthy options are things we need a fridge and a stove for. So it's the best route I think we have to go to restaurants because they at least prepare meals in a more healthy way like I need. It's been, over 5 years probably since I've been out to a restaurant.
I've been trying to get you out for a long time.
Pretty anxious.
They also acted as if they were finally adapting to a healthier lifestyle, all while consuming a fatty burger.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. Me and James also went through all the food stocked up in the van to see what fit the diet plan and what doesn't. And we talked about throwing some of the stuff that's not healthy out. But that's really hard too, because when you're homeless, food's hard to come by sometimes, and we can't really just throw it away or give it away when we're gonna need it.
As expected, during his time of progress, Dominic had his slip-ups, which caused him to lose less weight than he had to lose. But he proceeded to lie to Dr. Now about sticking to the diet despite knowing that he wasn't by putting up a weird excuse.
I'm trying to stick to the under 1,200 calories, but we still have some of our food we're trying to finish because we didn't want to throw it away, and we didn't have enough money to go get more.
By this point, the viewers were not having any of it. I have a hard time feeling sorry for his living situation when they're probably spending $100 a day on food. They could easily get a place if they started cooking and stopped eating out. Even after Dr. Now gave him another chance to prove himself, Dominic only managed to lose 3 pounds during that time. And upon asking Dr. Now why it was so, he again put up another excuse to validate his negligent weight loss.
I haven't been exercising as I should.
Okay, you're getting yourself confused, okay? Exercise, if you even run marathon, has very little to do with your weight. Your weight has to do with your eating. So what's going on with your eating?
I thought I was keeping under the 1,200 calories, but I guess not.
Dr. Now expressed his disappointment with the way Dominic was treating his diet and wasn't sure if he really was ever serious about it.
It's very disappointing to see Dominic's progress. Wasn't where he needed to be in the first time, and now it's worse, despite starting him with psychotherapy. So what I'm seeing from him so far is someone who's not taking this seriously and isn't motivated to put in the hard work he needs to change his life yet.
By the end, Dominic was never serious about anything he said, and so his episode ended with Dr. Now finally giving up on him. And unlike Dominic, who is struggling through homelessness, this next story showed what could happen when someone is surrounded by care, support, and resources, but still refuses to take accountability. When Sean Milliken showed up on Season 4, Episode 11, the scale could not even register his weight. He came in at over 900 pounds, completely bedbound in Cameron Park, California, and fully dependent on his mother, Renee, for even basic needs. Now, right from the jump, Dr. Now set the expectation clearly that Sean needed to lose weight and gain independence and prove that he could survive outside of constant care.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a diet plan, and I want you to lose at least 100 pounds over the next couple of months. If you do that, I'll approve you for weight loss surgery. Let's get you back up to your mom.
But Sean had a different plan, and that plan involved acting like the diet was just a side suggestion rather than a life-saving tool that he had to follow strictly.
Today I was craving a burger. And I think you have to be able to enjoy food just a little. The doctor wants me on 800 calories, and I have no idea what that would be in actual food. Actually, I think that 800 is a bit extreme. But I've cut back a lot.
Dr. Now had sent Sean home with a diet to follow, and 2 months later he came back, looking like he had gained anywhere between 50 to 100 pounds instead of losing weight, completely frustrating Dr. Now.
He cannot make it to the waiting room door. He's worse off now, and he looked like he maybe put another 50 to 100 pounds on. Yeah, your edema's getting much worse.
And his mom acted all oblivious and straight up lied when Dr. Now confronted her, making weak excuses for everything.
How is his nutrition?
Good, good. I mean, he's eating, just good, healthy food, but we need to get on 800 calories.
Renee, his condition is far worse than 2 months ago. This is not acceptable.
I mean, what should he be eating? Should he be eating protein?
I gave you all the information you needed in the diet plan.
Dr. Now did what he always does. In order to save his life, he admitted Sean to the hospital immediately so that his diet could be controlled and monitored, because clearly Sean could not be trusted to do it himself.
So I'm admitting you to the hospital immediately so we can get your health under control.
And this solution worked, which told every single viewer watching exactly what the problem was. Sean knew exactly what to do, but he wasn't doing it.
When Sean arrived here, we were able to weigh him, and he was 1,003 pounds. But we started him on 800 calorie a day controlled diet, and he started losing weight rapidly. 744. He did good.
But the moment Dr. Now discharged him, Sean went back home with Renee, and within a single month, he had taken multiple steps backward. And when it was time to weigh in again, Sean conveniently developed an emergency as an excuse for his lack of progress.
Sean is complaining of chest pain, so we rushed him to the hospital, and we're going to run some tests. But I don't think anything is wrong. I think the issue is he's not liking the program right now. If he's making this up to try and get out of sticking with the program, then he's in for a wake-up call.
Dr. Now, who had seen this behavior with other patients in the past, saw through what Sean was trying to do and did the weigh-in anyway.
Sean, we ran some tests and nothing is wrong except that you need to lose more weight. So I'm guessing that you haven't been sticking to your diet and exercise. Okay, 787 pounds. That's a weight gain just over 40 pounds. That is unacceptable.
It was obvious that Sean and his enabling mother shared an unhealthy dynamic, and Dr. Now didn't hesitate to call them out.
Can't keep manipulating everyone like you have done with your mother. You're risking your life every day you do this. Either this stops now, or you can try to figure it out on your own because you think you know better. I'm sending you home, and I'm sending psychologists to talk to both of you because this unhealthy dynamic you both have is going to lead to your death.
Fans also called this out, with one fan pointing out Renee's manipulative nature, saying his mother did this to him. She taught him no social skills. She kept him trapped in a bed so she would not be alone. Dr. Now pulled both Sean and Renee into therapy and pushed them to break this cycle. And for a stretch, it seemed to work. By the end of month 7, Sean had lost a total of 367 pounds, which was enough to qualify him for surgery. Viewers watching may have thought that they were finally watching a turning point, but that turning point never came, because the environment never actually changed, and neither did the excuses. In his Where Are They Now episode, things took an even darker turn. Renee brought Sean into the hospital, claiming he was sick, and while they were there, Dr. Now discovered that Sean had been gaining weight again.
He's had an ear infection. Last night, he started getting very, very sick. He started getting fevers and chills, so that's why I call 911.
555 pounds. So 555 pounds means that you start gaining again. If you were sticking to the diet, you should be around 480 pounds by now.
Dr. Now had heard enough. He told Renee directly that she was the worst thing for Sean, that she was harming him and slowly destroying him.
On him, how do you know what's happening with him?
We seen thousands of people like him.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So he's not any different than anybody else.
Okay. He is different to me, though, doctor. I understand not to you.
Well,
he is different to me.
You really are not helping him. Okay? We haven't seen him in months. Okay?
Right.
He's not following his diet.
Okay.
He should have lost more weight.
Yes, I agree.
All right. What do you mean you agree? You killing him and you blaming other people not taking care of him.
No, I'm not.
You harming him. You are worst thing for him.
I agree.
And What do you mean you agree?
I agree. I am the worst thing for him. I
Yeah,
agree.
but you
I'm the
know
only
what's good
thing he
for
has,
him,
though.
and the doctor doesn't know crap.
No.
Even fans shared the same sentiment. One commenter said, "That mother straight up lied to Dr. Now multiple times, and he saw right through it. She fed him to death." Then came the moment that should have been Sean's last chance to turn things around. Renee had passed away from renal failure, and in her absence, the enabling was gone. But within 2 months of living on his own, Sean had gained a shocking 188 pounds, and the only excuse he could give was that he didn't care. And then in February 2019, Sean was admitted to the hospital with a respiratory infection and passed away from complications leading to heart failure. He was 29 years old. His body had absorbed too many massive swings between weight loss and weight gain that his heart simply gave out. And the common thread across every single one of those swings was that whenever things got hard, the emotion became the excuse, and the excuse meant nothing had to change. Sean Milliken's story is a reminder of what happens when emotional dependency is never challenged and the excuses are never outgrown, which is precisely what made the next person on this list so frustrating to watch, because she had every resource available to her and still couldn't stop pointing the finger at everyone else. Kirsten Perez came to season 5 weighing 612 pounds, and she had barely finished her first conversation with Dr. Now before it was obvious that she had a very particular way of explaining her problems. She would start a real situation and use it to avoid all personal responsibility. Kirsten was a mother, and the trauma from being assaulted at a party forced her into drug use and addictive eating habits. Her newfound lifestyle left her with more baggage than she had hoped for.
Right before I turned 18, I was gang raped at a party. We were drinking, and it's the first time I ever used cocaine. I don't really remember a lot, but multiple guys took turns. And after that's when I started not caring about a lot of stuff. And I kept eating, and maybe I ate. I was hoping to just keep people away from me. I don't know. I got deeper into drugs as well. I started living with drug dealers, trading my body for whatever I could get.
And the stress of raising her children eventually became her go-to reason for why the eating had gotten so out of hand and why changing it was so difficult.
And I got pregnant again. And I had my son Nico. Everything was really out of control for me. And I couldn't give my kids what I knew that they deserved or needed. So I let my mom and dad take them because I couldn't take care of them anymore.
Kirsten gave excuses for every little thing. Even on her way to Dr. Now's office, she moaned and complained about having to walk to the bathroom, as if her weight problems were caused by someone else.
I'm so sorry. Straight up that way. Just take it, go right. Oh, give me your hand. Come on. Come on, lift. Give me your glasses.
No, leave me alone. This is impossible. The bathroom is so far away. Just get my walker. I can't make that far.
Get her the walker. Hurry up.
We just left the bathroom. Why didn't she go there?
I couldn't just run to the bathroom like anybody else would. I'd sit there and stop and wait. I'd catch my breath just so I could get to the bathroom to go without peeing on myself.
And here's where it becomes a pattern rather than a backstory. Every chance she got, she would blame the people doing everything to care for her for getting in the way of her following the diet. For example, her 14-year-old son, Nico.
Honestly, I'm just disappointed in how little help he's been to me. I try not to ask him to do anything for me because Nico's extremely rude to me now. Got to the point where I can barely even stand to be in the same room as him anymore. Just getting out about the way Nico acts makes me want to eat stuff that I'm not supposed to. I'm just really disappointed right now. It's hard enough to do this, but having Nico sabotage me is making this impossible.
However, while her parents were away, she was requesting junk food because she wasn't feeling good and thought that would be a good excuse to give for not following her diet.
I gave her a cup of jalapeno chips.
Just a cup. I wasn't supposed to have them, I know, but I was not feeling good.
Okay, but remember what our deal was? The faster your mom can lose her weight and get better, the faster we can go home.
She made it seem like her son was the reason she couldn't lose weight, as if he didn't have his own life, despite barely taking care of him as a mother herself.
My priority is getting healthy and losing the weight and It's really hard to do when he stresses me out.
What made Kirsten's situation particularly maddening to viewers was the dynamic with Nako specifically, with one viewer saying, "It's worse, because she tries to paint her son as an asshole too. He's 14! He has to help take care of you, share a room with you, and have you belittle him too." Kirsten found a way to make her family part of the problem whenever the results came back short, and Dr. Now eventually reached the point where he told her in direct terms what she didn't want to hear.
Let me be clear. You go to a therapist or there is nothing more I can do for you. And outside of medical emergency, we are done.
Viewers watching were not particularly sympathetic to Kirsten's position. She has more going on than just a substance abuse issue. She has far greater mental health issues that need to be addressed first. Kirsten did eventually comply, started therapy, lost over 100 pounds, and got surgery, which puts her in a different category from most people on this list. But the road to that outcome was paved with enough excuse-making to earn her spot here. The next patient never found that determination and turned physical discomfort into such a complete excuse framework that Dr. Now could barely find room to work inside it. Mercedes Cephas arrived in Season 7, Episode 18, weighing over 770 pounds, and from the very first moments of her episode, it was already established that she would be the queen of excuses.
But getting up to do this is the most miserable part of my day. My back hurt, knees hurt. Muscles hurt, everything hurt.
And from their first meeting with Dr. Now, she had already started making excuses even before he put her on the program, thinking he was going to fall for the misrepresentation of her eating habits.
Yeah, I eat, but I don't eat like all the time. I just eat not the right stuff.
What do you mean you don't eat all the time? You eat, for your height, you should be 150 pounds. So you have over 600 pounds of excess weight. If you do the math, you're eating 4 times more than you should eat, and you don't think you're eating as much?
Like when I eat like one big meal, and yeah, that's a lot.
Mercedes, don't play this game with me. You eat nonstop, and you know that. This is just something you used to saying to people when you lie to them and pretend it's not your fault.
Fans were quick to call out her lies and excuses, with one dropping a funny comment saying she eats once a day from 8 a.m. till midnight. One giant meal. And on her next follow-up, she did not hit the target. When the doctor asked what had happened, the excuse she came up with was jarring to both Dr. Now and the viewers watching.
All right, Mercedes, your situation just seems to be getting more and more serious. And now you show up, and not only did you not lose anything, you gained 8 pounds. So you want to tell me what's going on?
I know it's no excuse, but my cousin, he left, and we didn't get to get food before he left, so I had to order in.
Why didn't you order healthy food then?
The area that I'm in, they don't deliver after a certain time, so.
You spent 2 months coming up with excuses, and the best you can come up with is that you're living in no salad zone I don't know about?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yes?
Meanwhile, her family was doing everything around her. Her young children, particularly her oldest daughter, Kim Araya, were performing tasks that no child should ever have to perform for a parent. And by her Where Are They Now episode, it was obvious that she was just wasting everybody's time with her excuses. The moment she wasn't under supervision, she went straight back to unhealthy eating. And out of all the things to blame, she said this.
On my diet, I was losing weight, and then like the end of last month into now, a lot of things changed, so I haven't been sticking to the diet. Whatever's cheap, that's what I'm getting. It could be burgers, it could be chicken, it could be whatever. Whatever's cheap, I'm gonna get for me and my kids.
And by her next appointment, she had gained almost all the weight back. When questioned by Dr. Now, she again looked for something to blame, like she always did.
Right now, I'm having a living situation. My cousin left, so now we're on the verge of getting evicted.
So why are you getting evicted?
Because I don't have enough to pay the rent. I can't pay it by myself. My cousin left.
So you're on your own and with your 2 kids?
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear about all your problems. So what are you going to do at this point?
I don't know. I'm not really doing too good. I'm trying to stay on track, but...
Dr. Now showed sympathy, but that unfortunately was not enough to keep her on track, because at her next consultation, after gaining even more weight, Mercedes gave the most nonsensical excuses while crying to justify her failures.
Sad about my kids. I had to send them back home. Yeah, my living situation, I'm just all over the place. Thinking about my kids too much.
All right, so I'm not getting what's going on. So why are you crying? Okay, everything you've done is what your choices you make. Why are you crying about the choices you're making?
I'm letting myself down and I'm letting my kids down. And I just don't want you to give up on me. I'm trying.
You come all the way here to Houston to change your life?
Mercedes never got the surgery, and after her last appointment with Dr. Now, he never heard from her again, despite asking him not to give up on her. It was evident that Mercedes didn't want to stop eating, and the emotional excuses were just a wall to hide behind. However, the next patient didn't have that emotional wall, which made her method of avoiding the program even harder to pin down and even more frustrating to watch. Appearing on Season 8, Episode 12, Kuliso weighed over 640 pounds, and early in the episode, she admitted that food had controlled her entire life. When she first met Dr. Now, he immediately warned her that her eating habits were putting her life at serious risk and gave her a strict goal to lose weight before surgery.
By now, you're 41 years old, you should know the candy is not part of your diet. You come here and say, I drink soda and candy and smoke, and I had heart attack and I have blood pressure, COPD, and BMI is 90, and I want to help.
I
Do you see
understand.
any problem with that picture?
I do.
Okay, I'm going to give you some stuff to read. And the diet I'm giving you is going to limit you to 1,200 calories a day with a focus on protein with almost no carbs in your diet.
At first, Kalisa appeared motivated, but things quickly started falling apart once she returned home. Instead of sticking fully to the program, she made up her own diet, and when it was time for a weigh-in, the results spoke for themselves as she didn't even lose half of what she was supposed to lose. And during this appointment, Dr. Now confronted her after she failed to meet her goal, and Kalisa immediately began throwing a tantrum.
Because if you tried, you would have lost more than half of what you should have at this point. So you studied eating 4 to 5 times what you should.
Now I want to tell you all so bad. I've done everything that you told me to do. I did my 1,400 calories. I did exercises. I don't even go in my wheelchair no more. But you're acting like I didn't do anything. I've completely quit smoking, and I'm already upset enough at myself. But don't sit there and try to say that I did not do what you asked me to do, because I did.
She claimed to have followed the diet, but the results said otherwise.
I don't understand what I did wrong, because I really did.
Okay, you don't understand what you did wrong, but let's help you to understand it instead of crying and throwing a tantrum.
Throughout the episode, her family stepped in to help care for her. But even with all the support around her, she continued struggling to fully commit to the changes Dr. Now required, giving the dumbest excuse ever.
On top of that, you told me you quit smoking in a patch. But your last blood test shows that's not exactly true. So tell me, you still smoking?
Dr. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did good all the way up until yesterday.
Kalisa, just pay attention. Is it a heart attack or your life?
I don't
one?
want either, but I'm crazy. If I go crazy, then I'm gonna be in a mental institute.
Okay, just stop.
Eventually, after making some progress, Kalisa was approved for surgery. But even after the surgery, complications and setbacks continued, affecting her progress, and she sadly passed away. However, the next patient on this list took a much quieter approach to not following the program, and that quietness made it harder to challenge, but it was just as destructive in the end. Appearing on Season 9, Episode 4, Cindy entered Dr. Now's program weighing over 600 pounds, but from the start, viewers noticed something strange about her attitude. Unlike many patients who at least pretended to be motivated, Cindy often appeared emotionally disconnected from the entire process. It was evident in how she answered Dr. Now's questions the first time they spoke. She was going to be coming up with excuses in the future.
It's weird. I hardly get hunger pains, so most of the time I truthfully eat maybe twice a day. I'll have breakfast, and then I'll have a dinner.
You're not being completely honest with me about how much you eat.
From that first conversation, it looked like she was torn on whether she wanted help or not, and when it was finally time to be transported to Houston, this was her response.
We're going to take you to your other house, okay? Is that all right?
It's news to me.
Do you want to go over there?
I'm not prepared.
What's going on, Cindy?
I don't know. I've already said everything else needs to be gathered and everything situated. I've told y'all over and over again, I'm not being listened to. It's just being forced upon me and not even giving me the option. Yes, where it's
They're pressuring you, man,
united.
because they're trying to save your life. We're trying to save your life. It gets you in a better position.
Do you think you're gonna get a notice for death? What if you die?
Cindy dragged her feet to the point where her caregiver was in tears, trying to convince her to go to Houston. At this point, it began to look like she didn't care enough about her own life, and all she did was whine about insignificant things.
And it'll be your new life.
I took a shower, but I don't feel any different. If anything, I'm more annoyed because Sandy keeps asking the same thing over and over. And it's just making me feel like staying because it's kind of rude.
So you're just gonna sit here and die. You're already right here.
I don't know. I have to make some calls.
Are you serious? You're right here on the edge. You can just walk to the stretcher, sit down, and they'll lay you down.
Cindy, what are you doing? What are we gonna do?
During her first physical appointment, Dr. Now gave Cindy clear instructions about losing weight and improving her mobility before surgery could even be considered.
In 1 month, you should be able to lose 70 pounds if you stick to your 1,200 calorie diet. You said you have been just over 600 pounds for a while.
But almost immediately, Cindy began resisting the process. Throughout the episode, she repeatedly struggled to follow basic instructions and often acted passively whenever people tried to help her. At several points, her caregivers became visibly frustrated because Cindy refused to fully cooperate with physical therapy and daily goals.
She wants. And in exchange, she has to push herself to do more with us. So it's give and take, and hopefully we can get her to where she needs here soon. So Dr. Now will do weight loss surgery on her.
I tried. That step is just too steep right now. It's just I got dizzy and lightheaded at the same time so that made me panic.
But Cindy pushed right back most of the time.
Even Dr. Now eventually became frustrated with her lack of effort.
I'm seeing with Cindy and her overall attitude. She's used to getting her way and manipulating people around her to get what she wants. And it seems the only reason she's even trying to get help is because her friend Sandy is encouraging her to do that. But Cindy is going to have to make the choice now, whether she really wants to do this or not, because nothing we do will have any effect on her.
At her follow-up appointment, after Cindy failed to make enough progress, she and her caregiver, Sandy, straight up lied to Dr. Now.
There hasn't been any much weight loss, so what's going on with your eating habit?
I don't know. I've changed a lot of it.
Sandy, what you been feeding her?
In the morning, I give her 2 boiled eggs with turkey bacon, 2 slices of turkey bacon, and for lunch, she'll have a tuna sandwich and an apple.
She could have lost more weight if that's what you're feeding her, so what's going on? You know, it seems like you are not following the diet, you're not following the instruction, you're not doing your part, and if you continue like that, you're not gonna live too long.
But viewers were especially irritated because Cindy rarely seemed emotionally invested in succeeding in the first place. She was the worst. She does the least amount of stuff she can do, like the least amount of effort possible. Instead of fighting for progress, she often acted like she was simply waiting for things to magically improve on their own. And this became the central frustration of her episode. Cindy wanted help, but resisted nearly every difficult step required to actually change. While Cindy emotionally checked out from the process, the next patient constantly allowed relationship drama to derail her progress. Bianca Hayes came to season 10, episode 3, weighing 604 pounds, and she was in a category that Dr. Now does not approach lightly, which is a patient who has already had weight loss surgery and gained everything back.
Then had Simeon on my own when I was 27. And when Simeon was 3, I had a gastric sleeve and started to lose some weight. But unfortunately, I ended up gaining it back, so that didn't last long.
Bianca had a gastric sleeve operation years before the show and had lost significant weight as a result. Then she got pregnant with her daughter, Marcia, stopped following the diet, and gained all of it back. Her boyfriend, Ramonte, who also had a sleeve operation and met her in a weight loss surgery group, had maintained his results.
Red. I met Bianca on a gastric sleeve chat. Both of us just had the surgery. Mine was real complicated. I suffered a lot, and she was there to comfort me, and we talked a lot.
So Bianca came into the program already carrying the particular shame of having been there before and ended up right back at the start, living with a partner who had not.
It bothers me because she was so perky, so energetic, but now She's not that active person she used to be.
Dr. Now was honest with her about what this program entails, especially for someone who had already undergone a gastric sleeve.
We agree about that because we each have to make the choices not to be unhealthy, no matter what the excuse. Okay?
Okay.
That is something that is not easy, but it is something you have to do if you want to save your life.
Yes, sir.
So if you feel like you're ready to do this now, then what we can do to help you is give you some instruction as a guide that will help you understand what to do, but the choice to do it is up to you. It's always a concern if any patient looking for weight loss surgery has already had one and failed. In those situations, the chances of long-term success are less than 1%. Because they have already been given a tool that took away the physical drive to eat, but then chose to continue justifying their overeating, hoping that the surgery would magically fix everything for them, no matter what they did.
But surprisingly, for a stretch, the numbers moved. Her second check-in showed a 46-pound loss, which was real and encouraging. But by her third check-in, the progress had stalled, and when Dr. Now asked what had happened, the answer was Ramante.
The week has been hard on me and Ramante. We've always been trying to figure out for the final steps to move to Houston. And the stress has been getting to us, so we've been fighting a lot. Me and Monte have had different views on some things. Well, as you see, Ramonte's not here. We had the argument. He had tough times dealing with the stress of this move to Houston, and he told me that he knows that I don't care about him. He said he'd rather just end it instead of moving to Houston.
How are you doing with your eating habit during all this? You didn't lose any more weight over the last 4 months.
It's been okay. It's been up and down. I've been, making some mistakes and stuff, but I've been trying to stick with it despite all that. I just been, going back to old habits and stuff like that, and just been stressing through this past week or two with the move and stuff.
Dr. Now did not take this excuse lightly. He warned her about her behavior and recommended therapy to curb her emotional eating.
I want you to see a therapist so you can start meeting with them about your emotional issues, but also because I want them to assess if they think you're still ready to move ahead with weight loss surgery.
And after the breakup, Bianca settled into her life in Houston without him, and instead of collapsing into stress eating the way she had at her third check-in, she buckled down, focused on the program, and showed up to her fourth check-in with a total loss of 96 pounds, which was enough for Dr. Now to approve her for surgery, which means the emotional chaos she had been citing as the reason for her third check-in failure was something she was fully capable of managing when she decided to. Unlike Bianca, who eventually stopped hiding behind excuses, the next patient never really did. Robin McGinley made it her mission to keep falling back on excuses instead of taking responsibility for the habits that were destroying her health. Featured in Season 7, Episode 4 of the show, Robin was not only severely overweight, but also heavily dependent on her husband James for even the most basic movements and day-to-day activities.
Have somebody around, and that's embarrassing.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'll call you when I get to work.
Okay. Have a good day, babe.
But what made the situation worse was that Robin spent most of her days alone at home and with unlimited access to food, which usually meant spending the day eating until James returned from work. Another major issue was the unhealthy dynamic she had shared with her nephew, who frequently visited with large amounts of junk food. Instead of encouraging each other to improve their health, the two regularly enabled each other's eating habits in the name of helping Robin.
Starting with trying to make it to the car because I can't go down the ramp in my wheelchair, so I have to try and walk.
By the time Robin finally met Dr. Now, her condition had become extremely serious, with her weight reaching a staggering 648 pounds during their first appointment. Dr. Now was immediately concerned by the unhealthy routine Robin and the people around her had created. He had warned them that unless they changed their habits and stopped enabling each other, things would only continue getting worse over time.
It is very clear that there is a severe dysfunctional dynamic at play in this family, and it is likely not limited to just Robin and Garrett. So it's going to be extremely difficult to get them to change those patterns of behavior and ways of relating to each other in order to make any real change.
To Robin's credit, she did manage to lose some weight during the first month after meeting Dr. Now, but despite the little progress, it was obvious that she was still eating far more than she should, and Dr. Now quickly realized that she was not fully following the program the way she claimed she was.
So I need to see more from both of you, okay?
Okay.
And unless I see more evidence you're ready for this, then we're not moving ahead.
Yes, sir.
Instead of building on her progress and becoming more disciplined, Robin's situation became worse during the move to Houston when she started experiencing severe pain in her stomach and legs. The condition had gotten serious enough that Dr. Now advised her to check into the hospital.
Praying that this isn't it, because I'm not ready to die.
And according to Dr. Now, the biggest reason for all these complications was simple. Robin's weight was continuing to increase because she was still struggling to control her eating habits. What frustrated Dr. Now even more was that Robin kept insisting that she had been trying hard and following the diet, despite barely losing any meaningful weight at all. Her results clearly did not match the effort she claimed she was putting in.
Walking every day to get your blood flowing, to get more oxygen to those areas. And
I'm not supposed to walk.
why is that?
I have no cartilage in my knees. My knee doctor said I'm not supposed to walk.
Upon Dr. Now questioning her about her progress, Robin gave a diabolical excuse.
That's why I came to you, so I could do this program and get
All right.
to get to
Which means you need to start trying harder. Because as you know, we checked your weight earlier today, and you're only down to 606. Instead of losing 50 pounds this past month, you only lost 9.
Okay.
But that means you're nowhere near being ready for weight loss surgery.
Dr. Now also told her that this wasn't the case, and she was well enough ready to walk and make progress.
Okay.
So he lost 54 pounds this past month. Because of his progress, I approved Derek for weight loss surgery.
Okay.
And we gotta do his operation in a month. But for you, our priority is to clean up your infection over the next couple of weeks.
Eventually, Dr. Now also gave Robin a direct reality check for constantly slacking off and hiding behind excuses instead of honestly committing to the changes she needed to make.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to do this, but I'll make it a little easier on you because I'm giving you 2 months to lose at least 75 pounds. Okay? So no more excuses. This is your last chance, Robin. So you need to take this seriously.
Okay.
All right, good. I'll see you tomorrow.
On top of that, he also gave her a final warning and a chance to prove herself one last time without making any excuses.
Robin is getting dangerously close to hitting her breaking point.
I'm really discouraged right now. I'm happy for Garrett and that he gets to move ahead. I really am. But this just feels like a huge setback.
Despite Robin trying to hide the real reason from Dr. Now, he eventually found it out and was not happy about it.
I'm thankful for the opportunity to get this surgery, and I know it's going to be life-changing. I'm not really feeling too nervous about it. I'm ready, but I am very surprised I'm going into surgery before Robin. And if I could trade places with my aunt right now, I would.
In the end, it was Robin's refusal to take charge of her life that made things harder for her. Similar to Chuck, whose entire journey became filled with excuses, emotional outbursts, and constant refusal to take accountability for the way he treated the people around him. Featured in Season 2, Episode 4, Chuck was not only one of the heaviest patients on the show, but also the most difficult when it came to accepting responsibility for his own actions. Right after getting weight loss surgery, Chuck's attitude quickly became a major problem. Instead of focusing on recovery and improving himself, he became increasingly irritable and defensive, constantly acting like everyone around him was somehow against him.
Take him home, okay?
Huh?
We're gonna take him home, okay?
Take him home.
Yeah.
You leaving me?
You're gonna be fine.
Some wife you are.
Marvin Charles.
Go ahead and go.
Marvin.
Yeah. Go. Let's get out of here.
Bye.
You leave my wallet, so I can catch a cab to Beaumont.
Marvin Charles, I'm picking you up. Don't be ugly. Dear, I'll call you tomorrow.
Don't even call me.
Instead of understanding that his wife Nissa was trying to balance caring for him and taking care of their son, he treated the situation like he was being ignored or mistreated. Things stayed tense even after Chuck was discharged from the hospital and allowed to continue recovering at home. During the drive back, it was obvious that his attitude had already started creating serious problems in the relationship.
Get in the lane.
Cuss at me.
You be quiet. Sit there and be quiet. Don't say nothing. Damn.
What?
I'm hurting. You're hitting bumps. I'm hurting.
His constant complaints and tantrums became so frustrating that his wife eventually walked away from the situation entirely just to calm herself down. At the same time, Chuck also struggled badly with following the post-surgery diet, despite fully understanding how important it was for his recovery. Rather than taking the program seriously, he repeatedly slipped back into unhealthy eating habits and found ways to justify them.
And an order of bacon.
Now that my surgery's been done and it's over with,
I know what I can eat, and that's it. I know how much I can eat. If you've eaten more than you're supposed to, it'll really make you sick.
This created even more tension between him and Nissa, because not only was Chuck still heavily dependent on her for support, but he also kept disappointing her through constant excuses, overeating, and repeatedly making himself sick because he refused to control his eating habit.
Go home and get dinner cooked. Chuck called me to come home early today. He's sick all of a sudden. Kind of frustrating. And he was supposed to take care of Nate today. It's life, I guess.
Thank you. I think I might have ate something bad.
Yesterday I had a pork chop and french fries, and I had 2 eggs for breakfast.
It's really frustrating to see him not do what he should be doing. He's cheating, he's throwing up and getting sick. If I was given an opportunity of a lifetime, I think I would do something with it.
By this point, Nissa had clearly become emotionally exhausted. Chuck was not taking real responsibility for himself, yet he still expected everyone around him to continue caring for him while he kept making the same mistakes over and over again.
Daddy was supposed to clean the kitchen this morning. I'm sick of excuses. I'm sick of doing everything by myself. I just don't think I can count on him.
Even Dr. Now eventually became frustrated with Chuck's behavior because it was becoming obvious that he was still making excuses and lying about slacking instead of fully committing to the changes he needed to make.
Making the progress that he should be making. He's overeating, but he's denying it. Only eat 3 times a day and try not to snack. And don't.
No, I don't snack much. Very rarely. I have a snack here and there.
You're still eating fast food from habit, so you need to overcome all those issues. Chuck is one of those patients that he will never tell you the truth about his eating habit.
Things became even more unfair once Nissa eventually underwent weight loss surgery herself and expected Chuck to provide her with the same level of care and support that she had spent so much time giving him. And although Chuck initially promised that he would step up and help her through recovery, his actions quickly showed otherwise.
Did you get my medicine from the pharmacy? My medicine from the pharmacy.
I gotta go get it.
Can you hurry? Because I need it.
You want me to make a special trip just to go get the medicine?
Yeah, it's my pain medicine, I do. I'm extraordinarily frustrated. For this marriage to have hope, he needs to be a 50-50 partner. You don't get married to do everything by yourself.
Instead of following through on his promises, Chuck continued behaving selfishly and unreliably, leaving Nissa feeling unsupported during a time when she needed help the most. So eventually, Nissa had had enough and decided to divorce Chuck, only for Chuck to blame Nissa and excuse himself from the whole scenario.
Care of me? She don't care. She does not care.
Viewers were happy when Nissa finally made the much-needed decision, with them supporting her by saying, "Nissa is honestly the most no-nonsense spouse on the show. She tried to help Chuck through his surgery while taking care of the child, and then basically taking care of herself when she had surgery. She stood on business, and I'm happy for her." And eventually, all the excuses, selfish behavior, and emotional manipulation ended up costing Chuck his family. Zalin constantly used the people around her as an excuse for why she stayed overweight, especially her husband, whose attraction to heavier women became one of the main ways she justified not changing her lifestyle sooner.
She looked so big and comfy and soft and squishy. You know, I like big women, and she was their queen at the time.
But beyond that, one of the biggest reasons for her condition was her addiction to sweets, which she openly admitted had completely taken over her eating habits for years.
There's like a big bright light shining down. It's really, really good. It's so sugary, sweet, and delicious. I just want to make love to them with my mouth. Exactly. It's like a sexual thing for me, obviously.
Even after becoming a mother, Zalin still struggled to put her health first because satisfying her cravings mattered more to her than making the difficult lifestyle changes she clearly needed. When she finally visited Dr. Now's clinic, the scale immediately showed just how severe her condition had become. During the appointment, Zalin casually discussed her sugar addiction as though it was something minor, even suggesting unrealistic shortcuts and easy fixes instead of fully acknowledging how serious the problem actually was.
I didn't look at the scale. That's why.
So,
I'm a sugarholic. Sugar is my drug of choice.
how do you look that surgery is going to change that?
You're gonna take out some of my intestines, and the second sugar hits my intestine, I'm gonna be very sick.
You gotta have to have some realistic expectation from surgery. All the surgery is gonna do for you, keep you from eating a lot at one time. How many times you're gonna eat and what kind of food you're gonna eat is gonna be the key issue to make surgery be successful.
The doctor now quickly shut down those excuses and gave her a reality check, explaining that there was no easy way around the process and that real change would require discipline and sacrifice.
From eating sugar, no, that's not gonna happen. How many times you eat in a day?
As many as I can. I have a hole, I feel like I have a hole in my soul, and I'm trying to fill it up with sugar.
I see. Jolly needs to lose weight, but I'm concerned. She thinks surgery is a quick fix. I need to make sure she understands what it's gonna take for her to get ready for surgery.
Eventually, Zolin did make enough progress to qualify for weight loss surgery, but another major issue in her journey came from her husband, Derek, who openly admitted that he preferred her at a heavier size and did not fully support her weight loss.
I am going to have weight loss surgery. It really did come up really fast. So is this the stuff you're bringing? Yep. Yesterday morning, I told Gareth that surgery was on Wednesday.
He's been telling me he's behind me with this surgery, but I don't think he actually thought I was gonna go through with it.
Pajamas?
Check.
He says, I married you 10 years ago when you were a happy fat girl, and I was happy to marry a happy fat girl. If you'd have told me 10 years ago I was marrying an unhappy fat girl, then maybe I wouldn't have married you.
The situation emotionally drained Zolin because she constantly felt torn between improving her health and trying to maintain a relationship with someone who was more comfortable with her remaining overweight.
He wants a fat wife. He wants what he's physically attracted to. That's what he wants. He has a physical preference for his sexual needs that requires me to be bigger than, just fat. I realized I've been telling myself a lie, and that lie was killing me. Big can't be beautiful when it means my daughter may not have a mother.
Things became even worse after surgery when Derek visited her and immediately started giving her excuses and discouraging her from fully committing to the diet because he was afraid of losing attraction to her.
I'm not looking to do no dieting, mind. I mean, I'll be considered around you eating, but I'm not looking to do no dieting.
Instead of supporting her journey, he continued enabling her unhealthy habits, even though she had just undergone a major surgery meant to save her life.
Oh yeah, I smell bacon. Bacon makes everything right. Yeah, number 5, medium with a Diet Coke. I don't watch my weight. Don't be tempted now.
I'm not even a little bit tempted.
Eating my food. You want chip?
If he's going to go ahead and try and tempt me like this, it's hurtful. It's a little bit nauseating, to be honest.
Oh, my burger.
I think I married a jerk, but I think he doesn't know any other way.
Because of this unhealthy dynamic, their relationship itself slowly started falling apart as Zolin struggled to balance her health goals with the constant pressure and negativity coming from her own husband. Unfortunately, all that stress also started pushing her back toward old eating habits, making it harder for her to stay disciplined with the program.
I'm happy to drink water, but every once in a while, I do still indulge. May I get a large Diet Dr. Pepper, please?
Okay, you want a large fry and a large Dr. Pepper?
No fry. Well, you're not supposed to drink carbonation, but it tastes like liquid gold. And now it's gonna hurt for a minute because all the air is in my little stomach.
And just like that, instead of staying focused on the diet, Zolin slowly began making nonsensical excuses again and giving in to cravings while trying to justify the slip-ups to herself.
I have to break Dr. Now's rules in order to make this diet really successful. Because, I do still have to live and enjoy life.
Eventually, the consequences became obvious at her next appointment when she had failed to lose any weight over the previous month due to worsening food choices. Dr. Now was clearly disappointed and decided to confront her about the lack of progress directly. But even then, Zolin continued trying to normalize cheating on the diet, downplaying the seriousness of her actions and coming up with more excuses instead of fully taking accountability.
I haven't lost any weight. How many times are you eating?
3, sometimes 2 times a day. No snacking.
What are you drinking?
Water. Maybe I have a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke?
Once a week, maybe.
Diet Coke is not recommended after bypass surgery.
I know, it's not something that I normally do, right?
What do I normally get when we go somewhere? Water. Water or tea?
She's cheating, and she's drinking carbonated drink that will stretch her stomach to a larger size. Somehow you need to sharpen up these eating habit to be a healthy, low-calorie, low-fat diet.
Thank you, Dr. Now.
Bye-bye. If she doesn't stay on track, it's going to be harder for her, and she may start gaining weight.
In the end, despite her excuses, Zolin succeeded to at least be able to lose some weight and earn appreciation. Unlike Margaret Johnson, who quickly became one of the show's most frustrating patients because of her stubbornness and how often she avoided responsibility. From the beginning, it was obvious that Margaret had an unhealthy dynamic with her mother, who constantly gave in to her demands and enabled nearly everything she wanted without much resistance.
6 months ago.
Who takes care of you at home?
My mom.
So your mom has any weight problem?
She had the gastric bypass.
So she had gastric bypass. Why is she providing you too much food and keep you at this weight?
Because it's easier not to fight me and just pacify me.
As the episode continued, it became clear that Margaret had no real interest in changing her lifestyle. Instead of treating the program seriously, she seemed determined to stay comfortable in her habits, no matter how badly they were affecting her physically and mentally.
I think we're gonna have our work cut out for us with Margaret. She says she wants to change her situation, but so far she hasn't done anything to change her life.
One of the biggest problems throughout her journey was how Margaret constantly reacted emotionally whenever she faced even minor discomfort or criticism, often breaking down crying as a way to avoid dealing with the situation.
You prove to him you can do it. Okay? You don't have to prove to me, I already know it. I'll put a picture on the bed, into the bed, and let you look at it every day when you think about it. You say, I'm gonna prove them wrong.
And instead of returning home and starting the diet after meeting Dr. Now, Margaret immediately went back to ordering large amounts of takeout food and continuing the exact same habits, proving that the tears were just another excuse to avoid accountability. Things became even more ridiculous when physical therapists arrived at the house for a scheduled appointment, only for Margaret and her mother to completely ignore them and lock them out because Margaret simply did not feel like exercising that day.
He's gonna be in here. Shut up! Doctor, now he needs you to get up because of the blood clot and everything else. You already have a history of DVT.
Yeah, I know, but they keep pushing on you and they keep pushing on me. I'm sick of it.
We're not filming today. I told you I'd reschedule.
Oh, just leave me alone, Mom.
No, I'm not.
I'm assuming that was her mom.
But a lot of Margaret's entitlement came because of her mother constantly babying her and keeping up with her tantrums.
Come on.
I'm coming, Mama.
No, I don't have a lot of time, Margaret. Come on.
Viewers were extremely frustrated watching Margaret avoid responsibility so casually, with one person commenting, "Margaret is a 750-pound 2-year-old having a temper tantrum. Margaret was never allowed to grow up." The frustration only continued when Margaret reacted childishly again after her mother tried pushing her to exercise and take the program more seriously.
I'm done.
I just want you to walk one more time and then back.
I'm done. This is where you get me right now.
Get over this. I feel sorry for Margaret.
Mama, shut the hell
I'm
up.
not. It is very important that he sees you're moving. I've let you get away with this way too long. Now it's time to get up. Now come on!
Why are you pushing me?
Because I am.
At this point, it was obvious that Margaret struggled with anything that required effort or discomfort. Anytime she was expected to work harder or take accountability, she immediately became emotional or resistant instead of pushing herself forward. But like always, Margaret was not ready to face Dr. Now just yet, because of which she tried to evade going on her appointment by putting up another excuse.
So now to see how much weight I've lost and how much I can get around. But my mom had to work today, so she can't drive me to my appointment, so I'm not going to the clinic because I had to cancel it. But Dr. Now set up a video call to see me anyways, and I'm worried that he's going to say I'm not taking it seriously, but I really am.
Dr. Now gave her a solution. She again excused her progress by blaming it on her condition yet again.
But it's better to me that way because my leg has been hurting me, and it keeps getting worse.
What was even worse was how she reacted diabolically when Dr. Now was going over things she could and couldn't eat.
So we're going to give you the information to call Metrolift, and they're going to be able to bring you in, just so you don't have to depend on your mom to take off the work. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So when it came time for her next weigh-in appointment, Margaret once again failed to make progress Dr. Now expected, leaving him disappointed with how little she had changed. But instead of owning up to her mistake, both Margaret and her mother kept making ridiculous excuses just so they could try justifying their slip-ups.
Your own habit.
We don't know what we did wrong. She's still eating the same way. I mean, yesterday she
Okay,
didn't
hold on right there, okay?
Overeating.
Just hold on. And like you don't know what is going on, there's a simple math. You're eating too much, you're not gonna lose weight. Which part of this is very hard to understand, that she's eating at least 4 times of what she should be eating.
But her mom kept being defensive and trying to argue with Dr. Now how Margaret was, in fact, making progress but not seeing desirable results.
Time of what she should be eating. So why are we overeating and playing like we don't know what's going on?
But she didn't overeat. She's still eating.
You want to
the
argue
same.
that with the scale? Don't argue with me.
But she
you argue
didn't
that with the
overeat.
scale.
She couldn't overeat. I gave her proportioned meals.
The argument continued till Margaret's mom suggested something even more diabolical.
We know that might have been different is she quit eating the vinaigrette and ate honey mustard dressing.
She eat a gallon of honey mustard?
Now, I don't know how much she put on her salad.
The 2 cups.
But I can tell you that's the only difference.
Despite Dr. Now telling them that it's not how it works, they continued their defense as though they'd already believed it to be true.
So she's gaining from thin air, right?
Well, I don't know how she done it. This is what I know. I'm the one that fixes her meals unless she's getting up when I'm not there.
No, I'm not getting up, and I promise you that.
And instead of honestly addressing why she was failing the program, Margaret immediately fell back into the same emotional tactics, crying and acting overwhelmed as though it would somehow take attention away from her lack of effort.
I don't know what it went wrong. I don't know.
Did you quit exercising during the day?
For her to be 600 pounds and keep that 600 pounds, she's eating 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day. If she eat 1,000 or 1,200 calories.
The viewers were annoyed to see her taking no accountability and had a single piece of advice. Nobody's coming to save you. At some point in time, you have to do it for yourself. Dr. Now tried explaining the serious consequences of her behavior, how badly her choices were affecting her health, but Margaret still refused to fully acknowledge that her own actions were the reason she was struggling.
She's gonna lose 100 pounds in 1 month, okay? And they don't come and tell me what you're eating. You wanna argue all that with the scale? Be my guest, okay? If she's not losing weight, she's eating too much. You know, she's eating the food that belongs next 5 years ahead of time.
Unless you drink your shake in the morning and you drink a shake at night, and that's only 300 calories a day.
Unfortunately, the same behavior continued even after she finally received weight loss surgery. Rather than treating the surgery as a fresh start, Margaret continued acting immature and resistant whenever she was expected to follow instructions or make real lifestyle changes.
My mom to take me back. Mama said, baby, you can live with me. I never said you couldn't. I never told you I didn't want you. I just didn't want your daddy no more. I was so relieved. I kept eating like I always did. And before I knew it, I was 750 pounds, dependent on my mama. My cellulitis infection had gone into my bloodstream. The infection kept getting worse, and that took me down more. And before I knew it, I had become dependent on my mama.
And instead of improving the situation, her constant emotional outbursts and refusal to take accountability only made her case more frustrating for everyone involved.
But I need to get you up before they come, okay? So let's get this show on the road.
Today I was supposed to be doing physical therapy, but usually I don't have the swollen leg. And so I just didn't really want to do nothing today.
Unsurprisingly, many viewers ended up heavily criticizing Margaret and the unhealthy dynamic between her and her mother. One viewer summed it up by saying, "This woman is mentally like a child who's completely dependent on her mother, and not just physically, but in all other ways. She cannot regulate her emotions at the slightest inconvenience and has breakdowns instantly looking for comfort in mom or food. It's so sad because I could see her mom and parents never gave her any tools to deal with any of her emotions. However, Margaret's tantrums were different compared to Crystal Hall, who was reluctant to make a change in reality. When Crystal first stepped on the scale, even she seemed shocked by how severe her condition had become and how far her eating habits had pushed her health in the wrong direction. But she defended her ongoing progress by telling Dr. Now that she had already been trying to get back to her normal habits.
And I see a psychiatrist for my mental health, so I've been working with them for a while, and it's helped me get quite a bit of it under control.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing that, and I'm sure it has been a help to you. But regarding your issues with your eating habit, it doesn't appear that you have anything under control with that. So I'm guessing it has been more of help with other issues.
Dr. Now was equally concerned, but he was still willing to help her and give her a chance to prove that she could seriously commit to changing her lifestyle. At the same time, Dr. Now also noticed that the environment and habits she had created at home were heavily contributing to her overeating and making it easier for her to continue falling back into unhealthy routines.
I think overall, Crystal has not been upfront with me about some things, particularly with the dynamic she has at home, because she's saying her family enables her. But she also said she ordered the food for the whole household, so she seems to be the one in the driver's seat with all that, and probably make the life miserable if they don't go along with what she wants them to bring her and what she tells them.
But despite being given a clear plan and another opportunity to improve her health, Crystal still struggled to stay on track and quickly fell behind the goals she was supposed to meet. When Dr. Now asked her about her slip-up, she acted oblivious and gave an inadequate excuse.
So you lost 27 pounds?
Yes.
That means you're still eating about 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. So why is that?
I don't know. I thought I was doing better because I thought I was doing everything you asked me for.
She continued to act oblivious throughout the appointment, refusing to take any blame on herself.
How are your portion sizes?
I thought they were good, but I guess they need to be smaller.
That's exactly right. You need to cut back more than you are right now. So you think you can do that?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'll do it.
As expected, by the time of her next weigh-in appointment, Crystal was once again nowhere near where she was supposed to be and looked disappointed after realizing she had failed to meet expectations again, and instead gained a shocking 53 pounds. When Dr. Now inquired why this was so, she again acted oblivious, saying she did try and work for her progress, but Dr. Now didn't buy her excuses this time.
I ate some, but I didn't stop trying the whole time.
I know it's been a hard time, so that's understandable. But it looks like you gained more than half the weight you lost back. So it looks like you went back to coping with food again. And when I talked to you, I warned you that no matter how hard it gets, you need to stay on track, or we won't move ahead with your weight loss surgery.
I know it's just been a whole lot longer for me to try and do this on my own.
Still, she pushed on with her excuses even until the very end of the episode on why the program wouldn't work for her.
Especially with all the stress of trying to move and leaving my family. Just the thought of being apart from them for any chunk of time is upsetting. But this is the only way, even if it means we have to be apart for a while.
Crystal completely wasted her time thinking that she was making any progress. Like Samantha Mason, who had become so disconnected from reality that she genuinely seemed to believe that she could lose weight without seriously changing her habits. That mindset eventually led Samantha to reach a shocking weight of over 900 pounds by the time she appeared on Season 9, Episode 1 of the show, making her one of the heaviest patients Dr. Now had ever treated. Still, Samantha failed to fully understand how dangerous her condition had become. She knew her body was failing, yet she still continued making the same destructive choices every single day.
When I'm going to be able to go down and see Dr. Now to prove to him that I'm ready to make the changes in my life in order to get his help and weight loss surgery. I guess that all depends on how long I'm going to be in the hospital.
Samantha refused to let go of her addiction to food and continued ordering massive amounts of takeout right on the hospital bed.
I would like the chicken Caesar salad with chicken breast, the grilled, and ranch dressing with that. And then a bowl of grapes, a bowl of cottage cheese, Pepsi, chocolate milk, and carrot cake. And that'll do it. Thank you. One big bowl. Times 2.
Okay, so 2 orders for that.
Yep. 2 cups of coffee. and 6 vanilla coffee creamers.
In fact, during her time in the hospital alone, Samantha managed to gain over 150 pounds, which was an alarming amount even considering how large she already was. And when Dr. Now confronted her about her eating habits during the previous month, Samantha casually admitted to cheating on the diet repeatedly, speaking about it almost as though it was normal behavior instead of a serious problem.
Well, I wasn't really following any kind of a diet plan. I mean, that's my problem. I have to be completely frank with you. I'm sneaking food around. So when somebody tells me this is what you have to eat, I go into panic mode and feel like I have to get all the food in the world around me because I'm going to starve to death without it.
You know, sometimes you do the math, you probably eaten the food that belonged for next 4 years ahead of time. What do you think you're going to store? Okay? So next 4 years, if you don't eat anything, you're going to come even. You follow that?
That's a good way to look at it.
Although Samantha constantly promised that she was finally going to work hard and take the program seriously, those promises usually disappeared the moment she returned home and had unrestricted access to food again, and the justification she gave for it is beyond ridiculous.
I've been following the diet. Sometimes it's just like, why bother? If food makes me happy and I'm gonna die anyways, why don't I just make myself happy?
Viewers were not happy with the way she was treating her body, saying, "How could they allow her to destroy herself like this? Not only is she sick, but so are those around her." Her eating habits had become so extreme that even her daughter was deeply concerned and emotionally affected, watching her mother slowly destroy her own health through constant overeating.
It's really hard to watch my mom like this.
It's so good, it makes me want to cry.
Is it actually really that good?
It really is.
It breaks my heart seeing my mom just kind of lose mobility.
But instead of honestly acknowledging that her choices were the problem, Samantha often blamed outside circumstances and distractions rather than admitting that she simply was not following the program the way she needed to.
What's gonna happen when you guys aren't here? What's gonna happen when you leave? Why did I come home? Why did they want me out of there so bad?
The more you keep saying that, like, it's bad, it's going wrong, it's
I
going bad.
can't find a positive anywhere. I can't land on a positive if there's one that exists.
This is a good apartment. This is an amazing apartment.
For a normal-sized person, the size of the Titanic.
You need to find a positive. The more you continue to talk about the negative, the more you
There's no positive, though.
There is a positive.
Where?
You need to find it. Stop thinking negative, because then you're not gonna find any sort of positive.
Stop yelling at me!
To make matters worse, Samantha constantly justified cheating on the diet by treating unhealthy meals like rewards for minor effort, convincing herself that she deserved huge treats anytime she followed her diet.
I've been following Dr. Now's diet for the most part. The only difference is I still give myself treats and little rewards here and there to help deal with things. And I still give myself cheat days once every week to help motivate me, because I can push myself knowing that I'll have a reward waiting for me.
Although Samantha was put on an administered diet for months to make her lose weight, her trail of excuses still didn't end. Like Angela J, who constantly made excuses for her behavior while putting the pressure of her situation onto everyone around her. Featured in Season 7, Episode 19, Angie's relationship with food had become so unhealthy that she used it as justification for nearly every bad decision she made throughout her journey. Not only was Angie completely dependent on her daughter Desiree, but despite having her own child and responsibilities to take care of, Desiree was still expected to sacrifice her own life every day to care for Angie.
But I would never turn my back on her. I will be here because I know that she needs me.
But Angie rarely seemed concerned about how much pressure this put on her family. Instead, she constantly defended her eating habits by claiming food was the only thing helping her cope with her emotions and struggles.
Because I constantly need to escape. So we have to keep a lot of food in the house at all times. And I have to have what I want. So if we ever run out of anything, then Desiree needs to go to the store.
Things became even more frustrating once Angie revealed what she'd actually expected from Desiree moving forward.
But I have to keep pushing it with her because I have to have an answer. So when she gets done with errands and getting the groceries, I'm gonna try to talk to her again. Because there's no more time for her to stay on the fence about it. then honestly, I think siding with her mother and saving me would be the obvious choice.
Rather than understanding Desiree's concerns, Angie turned the entire situation into an argument about herself, acting as though her daughter's own family and responsibilities mattered less than her demands.
So you want me to leave my boyfriend, move to Texas, and be okay with that?
Oh, here we go.
Right. I mean, how am I being
But your
dramatic?
boyfriend's not gonna be dramatic and call me a
And I haven't even got time to address anything. I've been...
Yeah, this is what I knew was gonna happen.
Even worse, when Desiree tried expressing how overwhelmed she felt, Angie immediately dismissed her emotions and accused her of being dramatic instead of listening to her.
So then
This
I'm
little
in the,
words-
I'm in the position to pick between my
That shouldn't be
mother or my boyfriend and my child.
No, your child would still be here without your boyfriend, just like the other one was.
That's not right.
Well, you do whatever you want to
Especially when
do.
you know that I'm gonna pick you.
Okay. It's never about me. It's never been about me.
Throughout the conversation, Angie repeatedly manipulated and gaslit Desiree whenever she tried speaking honestly, making it clear that Angie expected support without wanting to acknowledge how unfair the situation had become.
I can't rely on nobody, but everybody
I'm not
relies on me.
saying I'm not going.
tired. I'm tired.
I'm not saying
I knew
I'm
this
not
was
going.
stupid.
I've been on board since day one.
Yeah. So you were on board before too, and because of Daisy, you didn't go.
And now I don't
And now
have a
here we
reason
are
to be
again,
here.
except for you're knocked up again.
Following that argument, Angie tried to justify her demands, not realizing that everything she said sounded unreasonable.
For me to have to convince my daughter to do this to save her mother's life just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm really hurt by that. Because if I don't find a way to be able to do this, then the only option I have left is to give up and just wait to.
Eventually, Desiree gave in and agreed to travel with her mother, leaving her boyfriend and child behind just so Angie could continue depending on her. Viewers heavily criticize Angie's behavior, with one person commenting, "To demand your daughter to choose you over her relationship after you chose food and drugs over your daughter is some of the most entitled shit I've ever seen on the show." Dr. Now decided to give her another opportunity and instructed her to properly follow the diet if she truly wanted surgery. But as expected, Angie quickly fell back into her old habits and once again used her emotions as an excuse to binge eat fried food all day, while ignoring both the program and the sacrifices her family had made for her.
Everything's on my shoulders, and moving to Houston's been difficult or challenging. Finding a place there is not that easy from here. And Desiree's due date is in a couple months. And that's just another thing. That's making figuring out any plans to do this even harder.
Because of all her excuses and manipulation, it was inevitable that Angie would not be able to reach her goal in time. Dr. Now wasn't happy with her progress and reminded her that she had been given a bigger target to achieve.
So it looked like you almost lost 50 pounds, huh?
Yes.
All right, that's a little progress, but you're supposed to lose 100 pounds in 2 months. And on top of that, it's been 5 months since you were here. So at this point, you haven't shown me you're taking this seriously as you need. And I'm never approving you for anything today. But since you lost 50 pounds, we give you another chance to stick with your diet and try to lose another 50 pounds.
But there was another thing Dr. Now noticed, which he tried to talk out with Angie, which she then outrightly denied.
I don't sound what?
You don't sound normal. Are you taking any new medication or anything else I should know about?
Am I taking medicine?
Yeah, are you taking any drugs or anything?
No.
Okay. Well, something is going on with you.
Angie again tried to take the upper hand in the conversation by trying to be smart and telling Dr. Now that the diet goal was flawed to begin with.
And let me remind you, because maybe you forgot, your weight loss was 50 pounds in 1 month, not 100 pounds. Ever did you say that to me?
I definitely did. On my call with you 2 months ago, that was the goal I gave you. So either you forgot or you're too high on something to remember.
Throughout the conversation, Angie seemed unfazed by Dr. Now's words and stayed in the delusion that she was making progress.
Well, if you expected me to lose 50 pounds every month for 6 months, I wouldn't need you.
What you seem to need is a calculator. Because losing 50 pounds a month for 6 months would have been weight loss goal of 300 pounds. And that's not what I asked you to do.
And when Dr. Now asked her to take it seriously, she put up another vile excuse, still thinking that she was right.
If you're expecting me to come there and sit around and wait for surgery for another month, I'm not coming. I don't have time for that.
Unsurprisingly, Angie never completed the weight loss program and ended up heavily criticized by viewers because of her manipulation, excuses, and selfish behavior. She's a terrible person and does not deserve the help that is given to her. Her bullying her family is crap. And considering how often Angie blamed everyone else while refusing to change her own behavior, it's not hard to see why she became one of the show's most frustrating patients.